Hi, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to show you how I updated an old project I started several years ago, but I never finished it for some reason. I started this project in June of 2021, and as you can see here, it's supposed to be like a little desert or wasteland encampment for like soldiers or bandits or whoever to hide out for a little while. I planned on using it for some tabletop games, but I put it down and then kind of forgot about it for, well, several years. For several years after I started making craft projects, I would write down notes on what I was doing for future reference. So apparently I decided to call this project Encampment, and according to my notes, I glued soda packaging to the wood coaster, glued corrugated cardboard for metal sheets, glued sticks and cut zip ties for decoration, glued plaster rocks to the coaster, DB rusted pipe, I think it stands for dry brushing, painted coaster coffee bean, and these words are the titles of the paint colors I used, painted rocks boulder, painted rocks sterling silver, prepped small platform, glued packaging sticks, cardboard together, used a paint wash with water, coffee bean, 1 drop NGFC, too much water, question mark. I think NGFC stands for neon green food coloring. A dab Pueblo with brush on base, doesn't look so good. Sponge camel to make a path. Paint black cherry on exposed hot glue, forgot the brown base coat. And small platform didn't fit right. The first part of the deconstruction phase was taking out this little corner platform I had made. I think at the time I just wanted to put something over there in the corner, so that's what I made there, but I didn't really like how it turned out. Then I started taking off all the little sticks around the edges that I sort of glued together to make a fence. But when it came to the plaster rocks I had made, I glued them a little too tightly, so I couldn't pull them off, and I didn't really have any other tools on hand other than this pair of needle nose pliers, so I tried ripping them off, but that didn't work so well. I decided to leave some of the plaster behind for texture, and then I used different colors of tan, brown, and yellow paints to repaint the whole base. I didn't really like the orangish Pueblo color I used the first time, so I think this will make it look a little more natural. I wanted to extend one of the walls I made, so I taped together some popsicle sticks and then marked it with a pencil to where I was going to cut the sticks to make this wall extension. I used a pair of snips to crack the popsicle sticks a little bit just along the line, because if I just snapped it with my fingers, they get all jagged and might not be the right shape I needed. And they were pretty easy to bend and then break into smaller pieces. Once I made sure the popsicle sticks were lined up with where I wanted to glue them later, I used tacky glue to put some of the broken bits of popsicle sticks onto the backside. I was actually running out of tacky glue, so I had to stop my project and run to the store and go buy some more glue. I marked and then cut up some more popsicle sticks to make a fence that would go on the other side of the little encampment here. I wasn't going to put anything there at first, I just wanted to leave it open and exposed, but I thought it'd probably look a little bit better if it was more enclosed. So after I snipped up all the popsicle sticks, I just tested out, make sure they'd be in the right place. And then I used glue to put some more broken popsicle stick bits to hold everything steady. And I had to let the glue dry for all these pieces for a couple of hours. While the popsicle sticks and the glue were drying, I ripped up some pieces of corrugated cardboard to use as the base for some metal sheets. I didn't realize it at the time, but I had run out of silver paint, specifically the same kind of silver paint I used on this project the first time. So I had to go back to the store and get more paint. And then I thought, okay, do I need anything else from the store? Because I don't want to have to come back here a third time. And that's when I remembered I needed more gloves. As you can probably see here, I have a piece of blue painter's tape wrapped around my index finger because I ripped one of my gloves and I didn't have any extras. After I was finished painting the cardboard pieces silver, I set them aside to dry, and then I went to check on my popsicle stick pieces. They were mostly dry, well, the glue was mostly dry, so I diluted some light brown paint and then washed them over the popsicle sticks to give them a darker color. I was debating on whether to add more detail to it, like some weathering like scratches, or maybe dry brushing some lighter colors onto it, but I thought, no, I'll just make it a solid brown and then see how that turns out. Since the popsicle sticks are all slightly different colors, I think that effect worked. I decided to hot glue everything off camera because my hot glue gun was getting in the way whenever I was trying to turn the piece and add some glue. As you can see, I put the first stack of wood popsicle stick pieces to make a larger wall, and then the second stack to make a new wall off to the side, and then some of the cardboard pieces would be made for the corners and a little bit of extra support. I used more light brown paint to fill in some of the gaps at the bottom of the new pieces I glued on, and mostly just to cover up the exposed hot glue spots, but it was also to make the dusty, sandy look consistent with the pieces that I had originally made for this project. I wanted to incorporate the little twig fence things I had, so what I did is I just used tacky glue and stuck them in random places around the first set of popsicle sticks for the extended wall, and just kind of slapped them on there in no particular order. I guess the idea I was going for was to make it look like they were hastily stuck in the ground or piled up just to hold up this wood block to cover that part of the exposed encampment area. I dry brushed some more light brown and tan paints over, the outside surfaces of just about everything to give it a dusty, sandy look. I was thinking about adding a darker wash to make it look a little more grimy and dirty, but I thought that probably wouldn't fit well. The last part of this project was to include a little extra scenery. I 3D printed some wood crates and little oil barrels. I didn't do a very comprehensive paint job on these because I was running out of time for this project, and at this stage I was still adding stuff just a couple of hours before I had planned this video to post onto YouTube, and I hadn't even started editing yet or recording the audio for this, so I needed to wrap it up pretty quickly. Thanks for watching my video. Stay tuned for more crafty projects in the future, and I'll see you next time.